Welcome back to another episode of the Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host, FM Bob. Gotta push my own buttons. There you go. Welcome back to the show. I'm tired. I don't know if it's very obvious. Friday episodes are just Bob is fucking exhausted episodes. So bear with me as we try and get through another milquetoast funny episode on your Friday mornings. Jesus, man. Long week, but either way, May the 4th be with you. I'm a little late. I celebrated, as of the recording, I celebrated today, but you guys get to see it a day late, so May the 4th be with you, but happy Cinco de Mayo. So 2 back-to-back great holidays. Yeah, man. Hopefully you guys spent your 4th better than you spend your own birthdays. How about that? May 4th being Star Wars Day, by the way. Hence the reasoning for the good old lightsaber hanging out with me in the studio today. Jeez. There we go. Camera doesn't pick it up very well, but looks cool. I celebrate the pretty much same way I typically celebrate all of my holidays, and that's being at work because I don't have a life. But yeah, I spent the entire day at work, but the most I could do was watch all of the movies, in the Bob fashion. Bob watches the Star Wars movies all at once. And when I mean all at once, all 12 movies on one screen, playing all at the same time. Shout out to the YouTuber who consistently keeps that video up every year, right on time, for me to watch it. And I always half-ass watch it because I've seen all the movies a million times over, except for the more recent trilogy. But yeah, I've seen the movies 1,000 times over. I don't need to stare at each movie individually just to recapture the story. I know the story. It's a great story. Star Wars, probably greatest franchise. I won't have to go that far. Maybe greatest sets of trilogies. But franchise overall has its ups and downs. But movies are phenomenal. So enjoying, the prequel and the original trilogy is phenomenal. Hands down, best movie to me stands to be Episode 3. Watching the ending of the Clone Wars, watching Anakin go from Anakin to Darth Vader, and just knowing how everything gets set up from there is pretty incredible to watch. Probably one of the greatest lightsaber duels of all time. 2, actually, of the greatest lightsaber duels, including the fight with Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Count Dooku, also the Anakin and Obi-Wan duel. So you're just chock full of great moments. Obviously, you have to include the hello there moment from Obi-Wan when he fights General Grievous. Just so much memorable and iconic moments. Getting to see Yoda fight Darth Sidious, like moment after moment after moment. It's hard for me to even compare another movie to that one. That one just has the highest of highs when it comes to just standalone moments. Also being one of the few games to get its own standalone game, or movie to get its own standalone game. I don't know if I said that right. But PlayStation 2 had Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith as a video game with alternate ending. So having an alternate ending where Anakin actually wins the saber duel is also a great alternate ending. If you haven't played that game, I highly suggest you play it. Which leads me to a secondary point that I would like to make. PlayStation 2 era of gaming was just peak gaming in a sense, because there was a lot of little things that happened during that era that just don't happen anymore. Case in point, a lot of the movie tie-in games, not all, but a lot of the movie tie-in games typically pulled the actors from the movie to be in the video game. Don't know why they don't do that anymore, or not as often, or it fell off. But the fact that everyone is tied in somehow or has direct influence, it was a good thing back then. Hayden Christensen, who played Anakin, had a hand in playing Anakin Skywalker in that game. Obviously did all the voice acting lines, but when they did mocap, he was there to do mocap. He actually, I don't know if that picked up on the microphone. He actually did a lot of the creative, I won't say the creative directing side of it, but he definitely like directed the game designers on, hey, like I play Anakin. Anakin would move like this. This would be a combination he would use because he studied for his character, therefore being able to perform how the character would, you know, move and flow and attack and all of this shit. Hayden was pretty much there for the entire thing. If you want to see something cool, look up the behind the scenes of that game and watch Hayden actually do a lot of the mocap shit for that game. Really impressive shit. Anyway, that being said, another great game, Star Wars Battlefront 2, PS2 era. Because EA Sports got their hands on this fucking series and almost completely just ruined it. Rogue Squadrons was okay, but either way, even the old Rogue Squadron games were a lot better, I feel like. I think the only thing that I will give it credit for is having VR. I do enjoy sitting in, the cockpit of a starfighter in VR, being able to look around and maneuver and hit all the buttons the way I would like to. Being able to use a flight stick is kind of nice. But all things to me feel like that it's just masking the game in general. The game is kind of lackluster. Rogue Squadrons, again, I'm just mentioning. The game's lackluster, not bad, but it's whatever. But again, Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the PS2, Xbox era was phenomenal. I want to say it was Battlefront Squadrons that was on the PlayStation Portable, which was another great Battlefront game that was highly slept on and looked over. Being able to conduct ground battles that translate into sky battles that translate into space battles, all within one match, Really incredible stuff. Really wish they would go back to stuff like that. But they won't because, I don't know, time, effort, making a good game just doesn't work anymore. So yeah. No, like I said, I spent the day, just sitting back and watching the movies. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if he's going to continue. I hope he does. But Invincible was playing Star Wars Force Unleashed on Kick today. So hopefully you guys caught that, or yesterday for you, today for me. But hopefully you guys got to watch that. Hopefully he keeps up and finishes the game out because the Force Unleashed is one of my favorite games. Force Unleashed 2 was just as good as well. I think he's playing the PS3 version, which is fine. The PS2 Wii version I feel like is a little better. But, I mean, again, to each his own. By the way, shout out to Liquid Death making really good goddamn tea. This tea is fucking phenomenal. I've been drinking it heavily, and I'm kind of sad I'm running out. But yeah, no. I'm probably going to dabble in some games when I get the chance. I probably will just stick with Battlefront 2 just because that's the superior game. I might even set up my little projector and play with that, but who knows? It's all on what I have time to do. I just don't have time for much anymore. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, hopefully you guys did something fun with Star Wars Day. If it wasn't watching a movie, playing a game, reading up on some of the books and stuff like that, just enjoying the franchise that is Star Wars, playing with lightsabers, playing with Nerf blasters, because they have tons of Nerf blasters and stuff like that too. Just do something fun. It's not too late. I feel like Star Wars Day doesn't just last one day. It's like a week-long holiday, but it starts on the 4th. I always consider the 6th the secondary day, which is Revenge of the 6th. A lot of people did it on the 5th, but let's let Cinco de Mayo and have its time. We'll pick back up on the 6th. Some people, I have to find that post where somebody managed to carry out Star Wars week up until the 10th with just each day having a Star Wars reference, which is hilarious. I think 8 was my favorite because I changed it myself, saying that the 8th should be 8th's over Anakin. I have the high ground. It's a great reference. And the 7th, 8th and the 7th. The 7th was I am the 7th. great. Just great. So 6th, 7th, and 8th, I think I'm fine with. I don't need to drag it out any further than that. Plus, I just enjoy Star Wars year round either way. I don't need to be told when to enjoy Star Wars. Yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully you guys caught me on Twitch. It was like almost a year ago. Jesus Christ, I haven't been on Twitch in a year. But yeah, a year ago I played the Darth Vader story in VR on PlayStation, which recorded and played terribly for you guys because capturing VR is a pain in the ass, but I did the best I could. I apologize. But it was still fun. There was some cool moments in there. Hopefully I'll get back to Twitch streaming eventually. I'm still ironing out the studio setup, I guess you can call it. Just because we almost got it locked down for recording. I need to get new lighting because, as you see, the lighting's progressively getting better and worse continuously. So I got to work on the lighting. And then after that, then it's networking stuff. So that way we can go live directly from the studio. So no extra setups and shit like that. The capability is here. I just have no time to do so. I literally just spent the last 2 days fucking fiddling with the editing computer that I have because I ran out of hard drive space. And I ran out of hard drive space on the C drive. So that means you can't do jack shit. I haven't been able to update. That's why the videos have been kind of funky lately. Just because I can't do the crisp, clean things I was doing before. But no one cares about the technical side of the show. I'm just saying, busy. I'm always busy. Either way. Damn, that's some good tea. So, comment below. What did you do on May 4th? What would you have preferred to do? Because sadly enough, May 4th was on a Thursday, which is literally, I feel like Thursday is more middle week than Wednesday half of the time, just because you're so close. You're so much closer to the goddamn weekend. Thursday always feels like it's just in the goddamn way. So, hopefully you did something fun. Hopefully you got to celebrate. Hopefully watch a single movie. Something at all. Cosplayed. Some people cosplayed for Star Wars Day. If you have the opportunity to have cosplayed, please send me a photo of your cosplay. That sounds dope. I have I won't say cosplay stuff, but I do have a whole Darth Vader helmet. I just can't fit it because I have a large ass head, and I just can't fucking fit it. I would have loved to have worn it, but yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, on to other things. The world being the world as it is, I can't not just comment on a few things in the world. Apparently another black dude got choked out. A black dude got choked out on a New York subway, and everybody's up in arms saying it's the next George Floyd moment. No, it's not. It was just a crazy homeless dude. I really need people to chill the fuck out. Everything ain't racist. I'm just gonna say that. Everything ain't racist. It was just a homeless black dude that was being a homeless black dude in New York. So for those who don't live in New York, think of worst case scenario of a homeless dude on a train. That's probably what was going on, and somebody took matters into their own hands. Was the guy right or wrong? I don't care. The fact that people are defending this dude already is my problem. He was a crazy person on a train. I'm not defending crazy behavior on trains. That's all I'm saying. Everybody's had the crazy dude on their train at some point, and you really wish they would just go away, and somebody did something about it. So be mad if you want to. That's one less crazy homeless dude on the streets. That's all I'm saying. And if you want to be upset about it, watch another show. How about that? Don't watch my show. I don't really give a shit. I think I'm just tired of the I'm ready to be mad mentality. That's all. It's like it was nothing to be mad about. A dude choked another dude out. Since when do people care about what men's lives go through? Men's lives in general in the first place. Fuck out of here. I'm fucking exhausted, by the way. Just one more day. Just got to get through this Friday, and then it's weekend time. What are you doing this weekend? Comment below. Do you have plans for the weekend? For my Chicago and family, it's gonna be kind of nice Friday. Or not Friday, Saturday. It was nice today. It's gonna be nice tomorrow. Saturday is supposed to be damn near 70 degrees, some shit like that, or above 70 degrees. Oop, you didn't hear that. Yeah, no, it's going to be fucking 75. Both days, Friday and Saturday. Sunday, it's expected to rain. Forecast with Bob. But yeah, and up in the 75 degrees, it's pretty fucking warm. So I'm gladly going to get outdoors on Saturday. I'm not going to stay cooped up in the fucking house all day. Some more bike riding, because bike riding is good for you. And it's been good to me. My stomach's not hanging on the table anymore. It's just really close to the table. But yeah, obviously some bike riding, maybe hanging out, hit the park, something, who knows. But it won't be spent indoors. And then obviously Sunday, another nice day, but it's going to rain. So that will be my editing, podcasting, recording, all the fancy stuff day, like always. So 24/7, I'm doing something. By the way, I would just like to say, weirdly enough, I feel like this is a great time to do it. Shout out to Japan once again. I don't know why I have such a nice, stable fan base in Japan, but shout out to the few people who are listening to me in Japan. Konnichiwa. And all that good stuff. I don't know when you're listening, when you have time to listen, but thank you for listening. To the fans in Japan, just roll over to the YouTube page real quick, comment below, because most of you guys, I can tell, because I get analytics, most of you guys are listening on Spotify, so, or some listening format. Just do me a favor, hop on over to YouTube and just, fucking comment below. Tell me where you're from. What part of Japan? I'm just curious. That's all. Not that I want your personal information. I'm not trying to hack you. I'm just curious where you're from. Are you from the great lands of Tokyo? Or fucking Osaka? Or is Kyoshi a place? I feel like Kyoshi is a place. I don't know why. Or is Kyoshi an avatar? Either way, if you're from Kyoshi or you are Kyoshi, let me know. I'm fucking exhausted. And to the Indian fans, thanks. Didn't expect it. You know what it is? I think I just come up with it. I think it's because Indians love dark humor. No pun intended with the skin. But I think you guys just enjoy my dark humor. So, sweet. Fuck it. Welcome. Continue to hang out. Tell more friends. Tell me where if you're listening, hop over to YouTube. Let me know what part of India you're from. I'm just fucking curious is all I'm saying. I don't know much about India. What the fuck do y'all be doing over there? It'd be hot in a motherfucker. Are you from Dubai? Comment below if you're from Dubai. I don't know. It just tells me kind of around about where you guys are from. I'm just curious. The listener base is just something I've always been curious about. Because why listen to me? There's so many other great podcasters in this world. And I just want to know where you're from, why you're listening. Engage with me so I know what the fuck I'm doing right or wrong. Either way. Don't you love Fridays with Bob when it's just a lot less yelly? Speaking of a lot less yelly, last two episodes were interesting, weren't they? Tequila tasting. And, I won't say I was drunk on Wednesday's episode, but I definitely had a few extra than I was expecting to. From the multiple shots of tequila, that almond flavored one that is fucking still very delicious. I think I had one extra shot of soju, the blackened, which I had, I think, before the taping even started. All delicious stuff. And didn't even get to my favorite drinks. I still had some Jack and some Crown and all of the other good shit just hanging in the wings. But that's not to say that we won't drink more on the show. Just don't get accustomed to it. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to drink consistently on this fucking show. Unless it's liquid death. Trying to stay hydrated, Liquid death, man. I'm just saying. You ain't got to pay me. Just send me some more teas, man. Come up with another flavor. I would really like something along the lines of the pink drink from Starbucks, like a strawberry coconut type of flavor in a tea. That would be delicious with liquid death water. Just saying, just throwing that out there. You already got buried alive. So shortest strawberry flavor. That's the taste I'm going for. I would like it to be called the shortest strawberry. There you go. I finally came up with a flavor. Shortest strawberry. If you want to just, throw me a nod, I'll take it. But shorter strawberry sounds dope. I like that flavor, and I like strawberry flavor. So hit me up, Liquid Death. I know you're listening. You gotta be listening because I keep shouting you out. But yeah, just let me know if you can come up with a shorter strawberry flavor for me. What am I drinking now? The Armless Palmer? The Armless Palmer is really good. By the way, I don't know who is, but shout out to whoever's doing the box art on Liquid Death's like cases. Fucking awesome art, dude. It would behoove you. Just do me a favor. I would like it. I'm sure a lot of other people would like it. If you can, just digitize the artwork so I can use it as my wallpaper on my PC. Because I'm still old school and I like dope wallpapers. And I think that would look really cool as art from my fucking PC. Or just art in general. I would just like it digitized, please, is all I'm saying. I don't want to put the box on my scanner. I guess I could just put the box on my scanner. But you do it for me because it would look better. So yeah, 2 requests from Liquid Death. Shortest strawberry or the last strawberry. And digital artwork of the artwork you're using on the bottom of the boxes would be awesome. I would love it and I would appreciate it. Thank you very much. This has been your request by Bob. I'm fucking exhausted, dude. Shout out to the people who work 9 to 5s and on Friday still fucking have some goddamn energy. I don't know how the fuck you guys do it. Is coffee really that fucking magical? Because every time I drink anything caffeinated, I literally just start tweaking. I can't fucking do it. I honestly can't fucking do it. And if you can, shout out to you. Either way, other than things I want to get to, fucking Zelda. Zelda comes out next week. Yes, I will be buying it. And now I finally know where I'm getting it from. I'm getting it from Target because apparently Target's giving out fanny packs. And I kind of want a Zelda fanny pack because nothing else kind of screams out to me. I know GameStop's doing like this wooden carving, which I don't care. Best Buy's doing a poster or like a banner flag. Don't want any more posters. Got plenty of posters and no place to put them. Or just, I don't like, not that I don't like putting up posters, but I don't like my posters not matching the room, I guess you can say. That's what I'm really trying to get in a display, but even display, sometimes I'll see some cool art, but I feel like it won't match where I'm putting it. You know what I mean? So I end up, putting it in a studio or leaving it in my office space, which is already a clusterfuck of just all the things I like in one place. But I would like posters throughout my household. So I got to really get in a display and just really give it a chance. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully I'll spend some time and have some extra funding. Because that's something I really would like to do. But yes, I will be getting Zelda. I do want the fanny pack, so that's probably where I'm going to get it. Tears of the Kingdom comes out in a week, I think. So I'll probably actually have some money for it. I'll probably get it day one. I'm probably going to get it at Target, but for some reason, it's calling me to buy it digitally. I don't know what it is about the Switch, that the Switch really just wants me to buy digital shit consistently. Don't know why. I guess I'm just getting to that point where I'm tired of switching cartridges. Usually doesn't bother me, but now it's just the Switch. I don't want to do it. Either way, speaking of handheld hardware, PlayStation subtly announced, I won't even say announced, but they scooped up the patent for a portable gaming device. Not for sure if it's going to be the next PSP, but I'm really, really, really hoping it's a PSP. Because no offense to Switch is great. But the PSP and the PSP Vita were well ahead of its time when they first dropped. They were just leaps and bounds of what could be done on a handheld. It was unmatched. I love the Game Boy. Game Boy's classic, but what the PSP was doing when it first came out was incredible. What the PS Vita could have been was incredible, and it just didn't get the love and attention it deserved. So I'm really hoping the PlayStation gives it one more go. There's some great shit that can go on a portable. Having something that would be able to do remote play significantly better than my phone would be nice. Don't get me wrong, my phone is able to remote play no fucking problem, and it's able to do Xbox Game Pass and all that shit no fucking problem. But having something with buttons that are meant to be pressed to play video games would be so much fucking better. So PlayStation, please. You're not doing shit else right now, other than just being the greatest console on the face of the earth. But you're slacking in a lot of departments right now. PlayStation Portable would be great right now. Let's not delay it. Right now, don't fuck with me. Drop that bitch. There's a lot of estimates and guesstimations that it would actually be released this year, because PlayStation is really good about just announcing something and then dropping it. Just like, here you go. It's available for you. So here's hoping. I'm really hoping for it. But yeah, that's pretty much all the gaming news. Tears of the Kingdom. Sony dropping new shit. Looking forward to it. I think that's all I had for today. I'm trying to save some of my other topics for this weekend show. Potentially working with one of our guests. Please bear with me. I'm fucking exhausted. I should be working with one of our guests either this weekend or next weekend to put out a cool new episode for you guys sooner than later. Hopefully in a week we will do a vacation wrap up, because we never did do that. We did it the first time. You guys kind of enjoyed it. So I would like to do a vacation wrap up sooner than later, because I don't go on vacations often. It's literally once a year thing. So, and I'm not a, vacation blogger type YouTuber or anything like that. I take breaks, but you guys are interested in what happens when I take breaks. So I would like to fill you in on it. So hopefully we get to do that sooner or later, and it won't be 2 hours this time. It'll just be an hour recap of the fun we had. That's all that's coming up. So, as always, do me a fucking solid. Ow. Ooh, got my fucking lip caught in my brace and shit. Anyway, do me a solid. While you're still watching this video, I need you to take your hand on the mouse if you're watching on your computer, or use your finger if you're on your phone, and just scroll just ever so slightly, just like that. And then there's a big red button. Hit the subscribe button for me, please. Do me that fucking favor. More subscriber means more eyes on the show, which means we grow a little bit faster. I'm trying my damnedest to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I really need that, just so YouTube can stop playing with me and they can try and pay me. So yeah, do me a favor. Just subscribe. Subscribe on multiple accounts. I don't care. Just scroll, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. That's all you got to do. Subscribing and liking is free. But if you don't want to, do the cheapest thing in the world and subscribe and like my videos, you could do the more expensive thing and just head over to www.fnentertainment.com. Link in the description. You can go straight there, support the show directly by just scrolling down to the bottom of that page and donating directly to the show. Every little bit helps. Everything goes to you either paying for the show itself, paying for new equipment. So, I have lights, so we're not sitting in the dark. Maybe paying for the fee that keeps the feed up and whatnot. Stuff like that, Granted, FN Entertainment is a business, but the business ain't making a lot of money really fast. I get paid based on you guys watching and you guys donating and supporting me however you can. But there ain't no outside influence. By the way, if you want something for your money, though, you can also go, if you just go to www.fnentertainment.com, click over to the secondary tab that says shop, you can buy a shirt if you want to get something for your money. So you can donate and get nothing for your money. You could buy something and get something for your money, or you can just like and comment and share for free. See, 3 options to support your boy. And when you're not too busy supporting me, you can also click that secondary link that takes you to all of Invincible stuff. Support him too. He could always use extra support. All of us can. And if you really want to support, all you got to do is just click that last 3rd option. And it's also on fnentertainment.com. But there's one more link tree that directs you to Kelly's stuff. So if you need dog training, you need dog tips, you need virtual training, anything like that with your pups, head on over to RK9, www.rk9training.com, or just check the description below. In the link tree, she has all of her stuff there. You can go get some support and help for your dog, support her show, watch her podcast. New episode should be dropping next week, Wednesday, of Think Positive. So do yourself a favor, tune into that secondary podcast. Really cool episode. Once again, I am always there helping her out with her show. And we learn stuff. We, as in us on our side, learn stuff. She knows everything already, so I don't know how she knows so much, but she knows tons. So support her show, support my show, support Invincible. Do whatever you can to support us. Like, subscribing, and commenting is free. Donating is great. Buying a shirt is even better. Kelly has a new shirt available on the effing shop. Should be available, I hope, if everything went well. But I'm alive. It's a thing. Great shirt. One of my favorite phrases she says. So yeah, buy her shirt. Her shirt's cool. Buy some of my merch. It's also cool. We got stickers and whatnot too, which I really love. I can't wait. My stuff's on the way. Hopefully, I think it'll be here next week. Because there's a whole delay thing and all whatnot, and I was on vacation. They tried to deliver it and it went back. Messy. Just messy. Anyway, I'm getting my stuff, so you'll get to see me rock it firsthand pretty soon. But yeah, man, support us. Support the show. Take care of yourself. Comment below things you would like to see us do. Next week's episode, show and tell. Eventually, because we kind of ran our mouths too much on the first episode. So you get to see the show and tell on Wednesday. So know that makes Monday's episode so much better. And on this episode of Throwback Friday, I have no idea what we're throwing back to, but we're going to throw back to something cool, hopefully. Post Bob will take care of throwbacks, and Past Bob will be what you're throwing back to. So enjoy an episode of Throwback Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy all your stuff. Do something good with your day. Get some sleep or something. I don't know. Either way, goodbye. Have a nice day. I'll see you later. What do you like? What are your go-to movies? Do you have a go-to movie?
I love thriller or horror genre of movies. My go-to that I have to watch at least once a year is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Of course.
That's my all-time favorite. I'm sure it's a bunch of people's, but I adore that movie.
Why? I actually need to know why.
I love the art of it. It's very artistic, even though it's dark. It's a lot of new things that weren't out in the 90s. I don't know. It's just got a cute story, good characters.
Question. So maybe I can ask you because it's been bugging me forever. Is it a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? And do not say both. Pick one.
It is both.
It's got to be one. It can't be both. Is it The Nightmare Before Christmas? Or is it a Christmas Nightmare? The fuck is it?
I'm going to say it's more towards Halloween. Because that's where everything is kind of taking a lean towards.
Right.
But it is both. They go into both realms of it. And dabble into both of them. So
I think that's cheating. Because every holiday movie gets played once a year. You can't make one movie and then cram it into two of the three biggest holidays. So it's kind of unfair that ABC Family's got to show your movie twice every year.
But it's so good.
And it's not that good.
It's
not that good. And plus, I don't like Tim Burton. Because that is a full Tim Burton movie, right?
Yes. Yeah, it is. With
Johnny Depp. Is Johnny Depp in that one? Because he's in just about all the Tim Burton movies, right?
I don't think Johnny's in that one.
Okay. But, I'm not going to shit on your movie. I never like, because it's kind of like a lean on claymation, right?
Yeah, it's sculpted, so each head of Jax is a different one each time. So they had like 30 different heads that were all sculpted into different faces, and they just popped it on to each of his bodies. So it was kind of like clay, but it wasn't clay.
I mean, it's not drawn. That's
no.
Like, I don't want to say it's like stop motion, but it's similar to a stop motion
basically
movie.
Yeah, stop motion.
Yeah, I mean, I just think I've never been big in that because what's name's like that too. the Gumby cartoons. I don't know if you remember Gumby from way, way back.
No.
No. So Gumby is just like this little clay figure that they would just move. Pretty much claymation. And it was move it a little bit, snap a photo. Move it a little bit, snap a photo. And they would do it over and over again. And Gumby was a lackluster character in the first place. There was a stupid green thing. And he had a horse that was an asshole, I think. I really don't even remember Gumby that much. It was fucking boring. And I don't know. It's just like the art style is just weird and it takes way too much time. So it was hard to get into. I don't even think I liked most of the characters. But it was just interesting. The only reason I even knew about was The Nightmare Before Christmas was because of Kingdom Hearts, the video game. If it wasn't for that, I probably would have never seen any of it.
Yeah. So what movie do you like?
Not many. If there has to be like a movie that I don't mind terribly, it's probably The Legend of the Drunken Master. It was an older Jackie Chan movie, which I think was technically like a mix of two movies put together. But I don't know. It was a half decent movie. It was funny, which I prefer comedy over everything. It wasn't too actiony, but it was just enough fighting to enjoy. And then it was a really weird fighting style in general. So it wasn't your cheap, cheesy action hero. It was more of a goofy comic fighting style. Because literally The Legend of Drunken Master was Jackie Chan honestly just getting drunk and beating the shit out of people for no ass reason.
I mean, you can't deny that wasn't a great style.
Yeah, no. And I mean, it's technically a martial arts style. It's not a fake style. I think they just overdid it because I don't think you actually have to be intoxicated to pull it off.
You just have to play the part.
You just have to play the part. It's the unpredictability of it all that makes it effective.
Okay.
And he was really good at it. And I mean, I think what just made it good was it got to the point where he was drinking gasoline to get drunk just so he could fight.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, but I mean, it was effective and he was able to spit fire at one point.
I mean, you can't fight against fire.
No. I mean, the guy did. I think he kicked him in the chest. But
that'll do it.
Yeah, no, it was all well worth it. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you watch action movies at all?
I do like action movies. I just haven't seen a lot of them, so it's hard to say. But I do like Jackie Chan. He is a really incredible actor.
Which movies have you seen of his?
I saw the Karate Kid.
Really?
Yeah.
I have not seen that one. Is that any good?
It's not Jackie Chan the way you think of Jackie Chan. I don't know.
Because he was playing a mentor at that point, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't get his limelight. It was kind of sad, too, because, I mean, a little behind the scenes of that movie. I remember Jackie Chan was, like, really into, like, helping Jaden become an action hero. And Jaden, I don't know if you've seen Jaden Smith now, he has lost his fucking mind.
Yeah.
I think he's a girl now, technically. I think he's one of the people who identifies as a woman, or he's transgendering, or something of that nature. Like, he's in that realm of life. He's not Jaden anymore.
Oh, I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, I know he dyed his hair pink. That was the last time I heard of him. He dyed his hair pink and he got a buzz cut. And he looks like Cisco from, I don't remember, the Thong Song dude. Kind of looks like him now.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that's pretty much the end of Jaden, and that's all I know of Karate Kid. Was he was Karate Kid. He did maybe one other movie with Will, and then he went into the realm of weird. So, I don't know. Did you see the original Karate Kid?
Yeah, the original one. It was a long time ago, though, and I don't really remember much of it. But I have seen it once.
Would you say that Jackie Chan's Karate Kid versus the original is better, or vice versa?
I think the original is better.
Yeah.
Personally.
I haven't seen... I've never seen the whole Karate Kid, like, start to finish, but I've seen pretty much all the bits and pieces that would make up the whole movie. I just haven't... I don't think I've seen them in chronological order. But I've seen the whole wax on, wax off. I've seen the last fight. I think he went on a date at one point. I don't know if that was the first Karate Kid or the second one, because I know there's two. I don't know. I've seen good enough bits and pieces of it where I've seen pretty much the entire movie. And then I've seen because it's pretty much a YouTube series of the Cobra Kai, I forgot how you say it. But like the bad guys, they got their own YouTube spinoff now. Yeah. So they got their own thing. I thought that was pretty cool. So Karate Kid's pretty awesome. Like, it was one of the cooler movies I haven't seen, but I know of about.
Right. Another Jackie Chan movie I know you've seen is Rush Hour.
Yeah, I showed you Rush Hour, didn't I? Or at least I brought you to the realm of Rush Hour.
Yeah. Amazing movie. I'm sure you can say much more than I can about it, but Rush Hour is amazing, dude.
Which one? Did you see all three or just the first one? I don't remember.
I know I've seen the first one for sure. I think I saw the second one. And maybe the third one, but I don't remember the third one. I remember the second one.
The third one was when they were in Paris. The third one was when they went to Paris with Genevieve. And that's when Chris Tucker was hanging out with the French chick. Which is pretty funny. The second one was when they went back to China. Yeah. Which was hilarious. Yes. Honestly, the first one was good because that was them they were polar opposites. That was the best of them as polar opposites. 2, they were really good together finally. And 3 kind of just wrapped everything up perfectly. Like 3 was more of them as people. 1 and 2 are them as the movie characters. And it was really good. It was really good to see them go from polar opposites to not talking to each other to 2 where they were just in sync the entire movie.
I think they got each other's like vibe and they were able to act around each other better since they knew each other more. Exactly.
And Jackie Chan was up Chris Tucker's ass the entire time they were recording too. Yeah. Jackie Chan doesn't play with his movie time. It's like, if we're here to record, I'm here at 8. We're here to work at 8. We don't show up and get ready at 8. I'm ready to work at 8. And that was a big thing between him and Chris Tucker. There's tons of interviews about especially on Jackie Chan's end, of just explaining how it was to work with Chris Tucker. And how it was a struggle in the beginning, but then they kind of just got into a flow after a while. I think at one point they were talking about making a Rush Hour 4, but Jackie Chan I think he was just tired of the American-based comedy. Like, he was tired of not 100% understanding what was going on, being fed lines that he wasn't approving of, and then not be... Because Jackie Chan writes most of his movies, too. He writes, directs, and produces all of his movies that he's been in. And Rush Hour was the only one he had no creative control in. So he was just kind of like, hands off, here's your lines, you read your lines, and then you do your stunts. Yeah. So I think that's the main reason why he doesn't want to do it again. But I know he knows there is an appeal for it. He knows people want Rush Hour 4. And Jackie Chan's he's an actor through and through. He might just do it for the hell of it.
Maybe. We'll have to see.
I hope so. I mean, they're doing another Jackass. So I can just, in my heart of hearts, hope for another Rush Hour before they get too old. Yeah.
On the topic of action movies, I know one that you like a lot is John Wick.
John Wick was great.
The first
one. First one was perfect. Yeah. And the reason why I like John Wick, especially the first one, was they did away with everything that was movie related. There was no movie tropes. And for people who know me, and the reason why I'm picky about movies, is I can pick apart a movie in an instant. You can give me a little bit, and I know what's going to happen. I know how it's going to happen. I've seen enough of movies to not be surprised. John Wick threw away everything. There was damn near no dialogue. There was no build-up. There was just, here's the action. He has a very simple premise. You took his car and that's it. It's literally it. You fucked with his car. He's going to murder everyone.
His car and his dog.
His dog was the second one, I think, right?
Yeah. Well, no, they did in the first one, too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, because I forgot he had a little dog at that point, too.
Mm-hmm. And that was a big thing. Like, the dog was, like, the last thing from his wife or something like that. And that just set him off because his wife had died a little bit before that from cancer. So it was a big deal. Yeah.
I had no idea.
See?
I watched that movie at least 3 times. I had no idea she had cancer. I know she was dead.
Yeah.
But because they never explained what happened, I was like, she's dead, he's upset, and you took his shit. Mm-hmm. So now you're dead.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you really need to know. You don't need to know that.
I don't need to know. So. I didn't know she had cancer. That's fucked up.
I think a thing that I really appreciate is the uses of guns in that movie.
Yeah.
They were really accurate on which gun type used this many bullets. And
yes. I spent a good chunk of time during that movie counting off rounds just to see. Especially in good, and I won't say good, ridiculous action movies, people will fly off round after round after round and never reload, never switch, never stop. They're just round after round after round. And that guy, I mean, he was counting them off. 7 shots, reload. 7 shots, reload. Pistol after pistol. He would grab an enemy's gun. 3 shots. I need more ammo. He knew that gun didn't have ammo, or they portrayed it as that gun only had a few shots left. They weren't just flying off round after round. That was a really good touch to that movie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure any gun lover or just any gun enthusiast would love John Wick just for that fact. Mm-hmm. I think the other thing that was really great about it is they didn't explain anything.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes back to like the whole wife thing. Like they didn't have to explain that she had cancer. We knew that was his wife. We knew that she was dead, and he was upset about it. With the whole thing with the organization, which I can't even remember their name because it doesn't matter. The way things operate, you just kind of picked up like how the coins were currency for them. Coins have no true value. It was just like they were calling in favors. Here's my favorite coin for you. Do this thing for me. It wasn't like a monetary value. They didn't have to explain that to me. I picked it up. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure anybody with half a brain could have picked that up. Mm-hmm. They didn't have to sit down and explain how this worked. They just let it happen and then said, you figure it the fuck out while we run this movie along. So many movies lose me as soon as they say, oh, here's my such and such coin. Then it freeze frames and they have to explain what the coins do. It's like, I don't care. Move it along. Like, just keep it going. Like, I can figure it out. I'm an adult.
I am smart.
I'm smart enough to figure out that coins mean money. Money means transactions. I don't care how much it's worth. Just move it along. He's buying guns and suits.
Yeah.
And so that was like one of the best things about it. And that's the first thing they ruined in the second movie. Was as soon as he had the big coin with the blood mark in it, then he had to explain what that meant. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could have figured that out if you had just shown what happened. He needed a favor. He put his blood in the coin, put the other dude's blood in the coin. You owe me blood oath. This is my coin for me. I could have figured that out. That's not far-fetched. They didn't have to sit me down and walk me through that. Mm. So that was one of the things, especially with John Wick 2, that threw me off. Along with Common. Common ruined that movie for me. That scene where they had the camera at the bottom of the stairs. And this is my brain working in movies. As soon as I seen the bottom of the stairs, did I not look at you and say, they're going to fall down all of those stairs, aren't they?
Yeah.
Every last one of them. They're going to fall down every step. Yeah. And lo and behold, did they not roll down each fucking step. Slowly.
All the way.
All the way down. Took a break halfway because there's a lot of stairs and it hurt. And then they took a break and then they rolled down the rest of the stairs. And that camera didn't move an inch until they came all the way down the stairs.
Yeah. Another thing I really appreciate about the John Wick movies is Keanu. Keanu, went through classes to learn all the action that needed to take place in those movies.
Yep.
It wasn't even just the jumping around and doing the stunts and doing the things. He went in for driving classes so he could operate the cool cars that were in it. He put a lot of work into getting this movie perfect and having everything be done by him. He wasn't, here, throw in a stunt double and they can do it and I'll jump in. No, Keanu wanted to do every piece of that movie.
It's a lost art now. Yeah. It's a very big lost art of the actor doing their job.
Yeah.
Like, your job is to act the role. That doesn't mean every time it's a little difficult, you hop out. Mm-hmm. And that was a big reason why I was a fan of Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan was very big on, I'm doing everything for myself.
Yeah.
I can do it. This is because Jackie Chan started as a stunt double, technically. He came in doing stunts. Mm-hmm. So he's like, there's an art to doing it. There's a way to do it. There's a way to do it right. And I don't need someone else to do it for me.
Yeah.
And it looks better because now you get better shots. They don't have to pan away or show, like, you know, the person's face, the actor's face turned away.
It's super editing.
Right. So it looks like it could be you, but it's not you. Now they can show the camera in your face while you pull off ridiculous maneuvers, you know?
Yeah.
Everything looks fluid. Everything looks very real. Yeah. And that was a very, very great touch. Very smart move by Keanu Reeves. And that's probably what made that movie really incredible. Mm-hmm. Was everything was done by him. And it had a lot of, like, long shots, too. That was another thing I didn't like about a lot of action movies, too, is with tons of jump cuts. Almost none of those in John Wick. There was a few, don't get me wrong. But when he did it, it was fluid. It was a jump cut to another long, fluid shot of him pulling off maneuvers. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, definitely, like, probably top 5 movies that I've seen recently. I don't want to jump the gun and say it's my top 5 movie, but that's definitely one of the top 5 movies I've seen recently.
Yeah. Would you consider Star Wars to be action? Or is that fantasy to you?
Depends on which one you're watching.
That's true.
Because if you were talking about, like, obviously, like, 4, 5, 6. If you're talking 4, 5, 6, that is fantasy, that is story-driven, that's character-driven. There is no action in that movie. And the action that they have, I mean, 4 was, the biggest action scene was, the duel between Darth Vader and Ben. Which was very slow, very chuggy, and was not intense compared to, if you're comparing it to Episode 3 between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Those are two different... I don't see anything to connect. Oh, jeez. Alexa went off. But anyway, it's just 2 different style movies, so it's hard to compare the 2.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe episodes 4, 5, and 6 are like fantasy story based, and then 1 through 3 are definitely more on the action CG spectacular side. Mm. It's the only way I can put it. Like, they're all great movies. I love them all except for the new shit. But yeah, no, it's just they're 2 different styles of movies to me. And I think they had 2 different. I mean, they obviously had 2 different sets of people working on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They're just those 3. I think all 3 sets, all 3 trilogies have their own key styles.
Mm. Do you have a favorite one of those movies?
Star Wars? Mm. Probably Episode 3. It's a tie between Episode 3 and Episode 5. Mm. 5 was really good because it was a lot of you didn't see it coming, you know, at the time. If you're thinking of it at the time, at the first time you've seen it, between spoilers, the reveal of Darth Vader being Luke's father, which should not be a spoiler anymore. Mm-hmm. That was a huge reveal. The way that the Empire technically won that time, like that entire movie was, the good guys had no fucking chance. They were literally just on their heels the entire movie.
Running.
And they couldn't pull it off. Even showing that the whole thing with Luke, when he was training to become a Jedi, he was struggling the whole time. So it was a good struggle for the good guys. The bad guys are just moving right along and they're winning this time around. So it was a great non-normal movie trope. Obviously, they were setting up a trilogy where the good guys were going to win at the end, but it was nice to see that struggle between the good characters. Mm. And then 3 was just perfect, seeing everything from the prequels wrap up to phase right into the old trilogy. And they wrapped everything up perfectly. Because everything was, like, if you think of 1 and 2, everything just seemed like everything's going to work out. I don't see how this can go wrong. 3 made sure everything went wrong, and it went wrong in a smooth fashion. Mm. Nothing was jarring at all, you know? Yeah. They made sure they introduced Anakin as, you know, a Sith Lord real smooth. And you understood why he became a Sith Lord. It wasn't like, oh, he was a good guy and now he's bad. 2 set him up. 3 made sure it looked right. The whole back and forth between him and Obi-Wan, between him and the Jedi Council, all of that was just done perfectly. Mm-hmm. So then you wrap that all up with a great fight between between Anakin and Obi-Wan, and then the bow on top of the reveal of Darth Vader. Just perfect. All that was perfect to me.
Yeah. I think 3 is my favorite one, too. I feel bad for him. Like, that movie made me feel so bad for Darth Vader.
For Darth Vader?
Or Anakin, yeah. It was so bad. Like, everything was just against him so hard.
Yeah. But I think that's just life in general. Which I think that was a big deal for a lot of people. I don't want to say a lot of people, but just in general, like, that was a good way to show, like, with all that power he had, he couldn't save the one person he wanted to.
Yeah.
And that was literally what every Jedi was kind of hinting towards him. You're going to have to learn to let it go. You shouldn't have went that route in the first place. Now you're going to have to learn the hardest thing of why we told you not to do it.
Yeah. And
he just couldn't do it. He was more human than he thought. So it was a hard thing for him to pull off, but had he done it, he would have probably been one of the greatest Jedis ever. He would have had nothing holding him back at that point. There was nothing clouding his judgment or anything like that. There's a lot of things with Anakin, it was his judgment for someone else other than taking care of the task at hand. Mm. And dropping his lightsaber way too often.
Yeah. This is true.
Very close. Very, very clumsy. The clumsiest of all Jedis.
Yep. Speaking on fantasy, do you have a favorite fantasy? Do you like Lord of the Rings?
I do like The Hobbit. I'm still on the fence with Lord of the Rings. I'm trying to watch. I want to watch it again. I want to go through the entire Hobbit and Lord of the Rings again.
That's gonna be a day.
Yeah. Because the Lord of the Rings both of them were really rough. Like, but the difference between the two is The Hobbit. When it ended, I was like, I can't wait for the next one. Mm-hmm. Halfway through one movie of the Lord of the Rings is like, this shit ain't over yet? Like, it's still fucking going. Like, wrap this shit up. So that was I think the biggest difference is there's a limit of how much my brain can take. And The Hobbit was just told really well.
Yeah.
And all 3 of those movies just flowed. Honestly, watching them all together, I was like, I don't see how there was time in between each movie. Like, I don't know how anybody could have went to the theater to watch one, then had to wait, a year or 2 before the next one came out?
It was at least 2 years.
That's rough. That is really rough.
Yeah.
I do not think I could have pulled that off. The Hobbit, I needed to go through all at once. Mm-hmm. Lord of the Rings, I was fine. I could have taken a long break in between each one. It was just too rough. And it was, at some points, it was dry. It was really dry, really boring. And most people said it's the exact opposite. They said The Hobbit should be the drier one because there's less action, less war, less commotion. Mm-hmm. But
there was still war in Hobbit. It just wasn't shown a lot. So I get what they're trying to say, but there was a lot of things going on, but they had a different thing that they needed to do.
Yeah, they were on their own journey, their own path.
Yeah.
So you didn't get that breakaway, and I think that's why I liked it, because the entire Hobbit movie you're just following them. Mm-hmm. Whereas Lord of the Rings, it was like 3 crews of dudes you had to pay attention to. You had the king himself, the punk ass elves who had their own thing going on. I fucking hate those elves. And then Frodo and Sam, which the fuck were they thinking with Sam? I really don't understand how they had all of those names.
Thorin,
Frodo. Bilbo, Frodo, Lagatha, where the fuck that person was. I don't even remember. So many great, styled, weird names. And then they just gave up on Sam. They're like, here you go, fucking Sam. Like, I don't care. He's the gay friend. Just tag him along.
Sam is the best character.
Really?
So, honestly, like, he is the best friend anyone could ask for.
Yeah. And that's why I don't like him. Because I would have left Frodo's punk ass a long time ago. You don't talk shit, threaten me so you can save this bitch ass ring. Like, you had a task. Get rid of the ring. Like, let's just do this shit and go home.
The ring had powers, and it was taking over his mind.
Well, then fuck you. That's how I felt about it immediately. It's like, well, you want to be an asshole about it? Do it yourself. I'm out of here.
Oh my gosh. What I appreciate in that whole movie is every bit of the landscaping was a real place. And it's mostly in the Netherlands.
New Zealand, right? I think it was all New Zealand.
Was it New Zealand?
Because I know at one point they had it was New Zealand because they had a commercial for it. They had a commercial to travel to New Zealand with the guy who played Frodo. Frodo, whoever the kid, that dude's name is, Elijah Wood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did like a whole commercial of, come here and check out where we went.
Honestly, like, everything was real, and it was a real place, and it wasn't that far from each other, and they just filmed it all there.
Yeah.
The only things that was really animated were, like, the monsters and extra things that obviously aren't real and couldn't be created. No.
But even then, they were subtle enough, and he did them well where it wasn't jarring. It wasn't like, here are these people, and then here comes the giant fist. Yeah. Or the giant eyeball. Whatever you want. It was all really simply done. It was all very simple, very calm. It was still extravagant for what it was, but it wasn't ridiculous. Nothing was like, wow, that looks horrible and cheesy, and why did they put that in there? Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I love The Hobbit a lot, and that's still my favorite thing of that whole trilogy, saga, I guess you want to call it, but man, it's just a beautiful movie, and I've always wanted to go there just to see how beautiful it actually is.
Gonna have to take a trip to New Zealand then, right? Yeah. Fly to New Zealand once this epidemic shit is over with. Yeah. But there's probably nobody over there, so New Zealand's probably nice and healthy and clean. Yeah. You don't have corona.
Can't say that.
There's no corona in Hobbiton. They're too small. It just kind of floats right over their head.
It's terrible.
So you're saying too that Hobbit's your favorite series of the two?
Yeah, I would say so.
Do you have a favorite character of the entire setup, I guess? Thorin. Which one was that one?
The dude that looked through the little hole.
The Dwarf King, right? Yeah. The Dwarf King. See, look, you could have just said that. I remember him. I liked him. He was cool.
Yeah, he was cool. I like the big guy, too. I can't remember his name. But the big guy with the red hair. Yeah. And he was really funny, too.
I think the only one I didn't like was the human. He was boring. I don't even know why they added him. He was an unnecessary added.
Humans are kind of a kind of something that doesn't happen in that world. Humans, rare. Are very rare.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's not even that he was human. It's just his whole character he was barely there just enough to push the story along. Like, the story would have probably hit a small standstill if he wasn't there. Yeah, that's pretty much all he was. He was Deus Ex Machina. I was just like, all right, let's push the story along just a smidget, but I show up at your door so you can be a little weird about it. Yeah. That's pretty much it. And then after that, I don't remember him because then the punk-ass elf showed up. And then they kind of just pushed him out the way.
This is true.
Oh my god, I really hate those elves. They're so stupid.
Why do you hate the elves?
They were just stuck-up pricks. That's literally all they were. I think if I'm not mistaken, because I don't remember it well now, but I remember my biggest thing was, if they had helped earlier, nothing else would have happened. No bad things would have happened if they just helped and stopped being stuck-up pricks.
They didn't like each other.
Well, then go fuck yourself, man. It's all your fault. Somebody should have told them that. It wasn't Bilbo's fault. Everybody wants to blame Bilbo for keeping the ring. No, it's just punk-ass elves and not getting off their asses sooner. You want to show up and be the hero at the last minute. Well, show up when we need you.
Oh my gosh.
Get off your furry, fairy asses and get some shit done. Giving Link a bad name. Link's a good elf. And he gets shit done. He wakes up from a long sleep every video game and then he gets shit done. That is a Legend of Zelda reference because most people have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah. But Link is an elf in most cases and he gets shit done no matter what. Yeah, I did like The Hobbit, though. I prefer The Hobbit over The Lord of the Rings. And much more prefer Bilbo over Frodo.
Yeah.
Bilbo Baggins was cool.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like about the entire movie, and I think you were a little, like, flustered about it when I mentioned it, because it really bugged me, was the very beginning of the Hobbit movie. The first, like, scene or two, when Gandalf just shows up at his house, kicks in the door, like, alright, I'm here for food. What's up? And then everybody else just shows up, and they're like, alright, we're here to eat all your shit. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, who invited you?
Hobbits can never turn down being a host.
I don't give a shit. That's fucked up, dude. Like, they literally kicked in the door.
Yeah,
they really didn't even like, hey, do you mind if I come in? None of that.
No.
Gandalf walked in.
Yeah, he did.
He couldn't even fit in there, and he still walked in. He was like, alright, I'm in here.
Yeah.
And then here comes everybody else in a few minutes.
Yeah. Well, he didn't even tell him. What he did was he wrote a symbol on the door, and that was to tell everyone else that this was the place that they were supposed to go.
That's fucked up.
And so they all
They just all showed up, ate all his shit. And I don't even think he had to eat anything.
No, he actually did.
See? And don't hobbits eat like 6 meals a day?
Yeah.
And he got nothing.
Nothing.
They ate all his shit. Not even a thank you.
Nope. And then they all slept on his floor.
Right? And then they were like, hey, want to go on a dangerous journey? It's like, no, you just ate all my shit. Get the hell out of my house.
Right.
It's like, Jesus Christ, man. It's like no decency in that universe.
No.
No one has any decency. Just abusing the hobbits. He did nothing to nobody. They just live in peace and eat snacks.
Yeah. Smoke their pipes.
Right. He's just chilling. Mm-hmm. Bilbo was minding his own business. He just carved a symbol on his door and said, alright, we eating here. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is the gangstest movie I've ever seen in any movie. I don't watch gangster movies, and that was the most ballsiest movie I've ever seen. Just show up at his house. We eating here. Me and my merry men. We all in here.
Oh my god.
It was horrific for me because I'm not a big sociable person, for one. And just for... I don't even like people showing up at my house at all. Let alone if I invite you. Even if I invite you, I barely want you here. But for you to just, and that includes you, people to just come into your house and then bring everybody and their mom, it's like, no, all you get out. I'd probably be the worst hobbit because I'd be kicking people out consistently. It's like, all y'all gotta go, or y'all gonna chip in on this meal.
That's not the way of the hobbit.
Well, then I'm not a hobbit. I'm too big to be a hobbit any damn way.
Yeah.
And
so you wouldn't survive.
I'd be kicking folks out consistently. If that's how you gotta do it, y'all can get the hell out. All y'all. Get the fuck out of my house. Get the fuck out of my hobbit hole. And go on your own dangerous venture by yourself.
Wow. I think you're officially declared not a hobbit.
That's fine by me. I'll be a dwarf then. I ain't doing now because then they're the ones that come to your house and eat up all your shit.
Yeah, they're the ones that burst in the door.
Nah, I'm good. That's terrible. That's horrible. Mm-hmm. So explain to me this, because this kind of bugged me twice, and I hope you remember. What is it? How does Gandalf work? Every time he dies, he becomes more white? Because he was Gandalf the Grey in The Hobbit, right? And then he died and then came back with a bleached jacket. And he was a little cleaner, and then he died one more time and came back, and he was pure white. Like, he got dunked in Clorox and came out clean as hell.
Something. And then it was like Gandalf the Black at one point.
Right. It was black, gray, and then white. And then like off-white and then white. I don't know how many times he died, but is that how it works?
I have no idea.
He just dies and gets bleached.
Gandalf is another extraterrestrial being. He's his own. You know, he might be. But that's Gandalf, and you can't question the man. That's Gandalf.
Okay. I guess so. I'm glad he got to act with his buddy in the Lord of the Rings movies. The other evil wizard, I guess. Because that was the dude that was Magneto in the other movies. And the only other movie I know him to be in. Or is Gandalf Magneto? I don't fucking remember. Both of them are knights. I just remember that. Him and his buddy are knights. I know they're friends. One of them plays... They both play old man consistently. That's all they ever do. I don't think they've ever had a non-old man role. They're like those are like the white versions of Morgan Freeman. They just been old forever, and they only play old man parts. Mm-hmm. And it's
very
just
specific parts.
Very specific old man parts.
Yep.
The most wise or the most evil.
Yeah.
That is all you get to do.
Yep.
Old man, sit down.
I don't think that goes against their look, though. No. Like that.
They look the part.
Definitely.
Both of them. I really can't remember their names. I'll look it up later because I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they both play really good old dudes, and so does Morgan Freeman. There's another dude that plays old man really well. I can't remember who it is. There's a trio of old dudes. I don't know. But either way, those three play great old dudes. I can't even think of a good Morgan Freeman movie other than Bruce Almighty.
Morgan Freeman's been God more times than I can even think of.
Yeah. It's just he's just the all-knowing. He's the as some people call him. I don't know if you heard that term, the magical Negro. Let me explain for those who don't know what magical Negroes are. They're literally just the black character in predominantly white movies that just show up, explain everything you need to know, and then they never show up again. That is Morgan Freeman's true role as the magical Negro.
Isn't that a South Park skit where...
I think it was a South Park skit, and it was a Key and Peele skit at some point. But I think South Park did it the best.
I didn't understand until Morgan Freeman came and explained it.
Yeah,
I need Morgan Freeman to explain it.
You just need Morgan Freeman to show up, explain everything, and it all just makes sense at that point. Yeah. He's really good at just showing up, give you a nice little monologue, and then he's gone. He did it. I think he even did it in the South Park video game, too. And he just showed up, was like, I don't understand any of this. And he showed up, walked in, explained the whole system to you, and then just left. Yeah. He was like, this is why things are happening. Yeah. All right, I'm done here. I think he even did the intro for Dave Chappelle's last two comedy specials. Or two of his last three comedy specials. Because he has the best narrating voice of all time. I don't think anybody can narrate better than Morgan Freeman.
Oh, yeah.
Acting-wise, I can't think of maybe more than... Right, I know he was in Bruce Almighty, which is sad. That's the first movie I can think of for Morgan Freeman. Shawshank Redemption? I don't know if you've ever seen that. Mm-hmm. That movie's been memed to brutal hell. I think Family Guy has memed that movie to straight to shit. It's literally them in prison and then they break out. Oh. That's it. It's pretty much the entire movie. I couldn't even tell you much more than that. He climbs through the sewer pipes, and that's how they get out. Sorry, spoiled the ending. He was in a Jet Li movie. He played a blonde dude. He hit a dude with a brick, I think, or a flower pot. I don't remember. Yeah, Morgan Freeman in his acting role, I can't remember squat. Oh, he was in Batman too. I forgot about that. He was in the Dark Knight trilogy. It's like Bruce Wayne's buddy or Batman's best friend. I don't fucking know. I can't think of his acting roles. His narration skills are on top notch. Greatest narrator of all time. Greatest old narrator.
Morgan Freeman gets a freckle for every time he explains something.
Is that how it works?
That's a thing, yeah. South Park made that a thing.
Okay. I'll take that.